This is Culture Shockwaves.
Go. Let's go.
Unfiltered, unbothered by your host Sapphir and JayBird.
And we are live here in the Culture Shockwaves studio. I am JayBird, one of the co-hosts, and this is...
I am Sapphire. Welcome back to the show.
Oh, that was a little delayed, but...
Are we supposed to keep that? This is where the listeners just... they exit.
Yeah. No, my bad.
Well... Oh, what are we talking about today?
This episode is going to be about... Oh, I didn't bring my glasses. Infidelity versus relationships. So I'm wearing black because I want you guys to feel like I'm mourning some of your relationships.
For those watching on YouTube.
Watching that maybe had got out of one or were in a horrible marriage or relations. And
I'm your... happy fairy to guide
she
you.
Is. She's got like butterflies.
We're celebrating freedom because it's better to be, you know what I heard today? It's better to be single than to be wishing you're single.
Oh, wow. That's very true.
Yeah. So.
And this is honestly came at the perfect time. I have a friend.
Because you're single, I'm single. We're both lonely.
Yeah. No, that's not it. I'm pretty content. But my thing is
we're not
I have
lonely.
a friend.
We're very happy.
I have a friend who's actually going through something now where she's dealing with like expectations in a relationship. And this situation is actually like, I'll just get into it and you can kind of give me your thoughts. That she was actually like with this person a while back, and he cheated on her with like 3 or 4 different females in different areas or something. And basically they ended up, they broke up and everything like that. And then they were apart 3 years. And then they started talking. They've been together for like now a year. And apparently like he is in a much better place mentally. Come to find out, like a lot of the stuff that he was doing, he was actually under substance abuse.
Yep. Very common.
Yeah, under substance abuse issues and stuff like that, which I wasn't really aware of that at the time because I think people can like play it off. And I actually knew this person. I still know this person.
Oh yeah, it was functioning addicts.
A functioning addict, but just making really bad decisions and then hurting the people kind of along the way. And it's hard to navigate because
and they're going through that right now.
No, they're not going through the infidelity again, but so this person's now in a much better place. They're sober. They've gotten the help they need. But there's other things in the relationship that are lacking, like external things. So it's hard because it's like you got over the hurdle of the cheating, the infidelity. This person wasn't mentally in a good place, but now it's like they're lacking in another department. So how do you maneuver? Like, do you just give up?
Oh, if you're asking me, I know you're asking in general.
Yeah,
if
in
you're
general.
asking me, I say this is me. Once a cheater, always a cheater. That is my strong belief. There may be amazing exceptions out there, and I hope those couples are happy now or are happy, thriving. Never happens again. But yeah, it's never cheating as in like they just went to go sleep with that person. It's always layers. There's always more to it. And if a person is just going to sleep with that person, they're probably sleeping with a lot of people, not just one person.
Yeah, and I actually I don't know if I read this thing or I had this conversation with somebody. Oh, I was talking about business with somebody, and the person I was talking to basically was like, don't ever go into business with someone who cheats on their significant other.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll cheat in your business.
Do
you believe that's true?
I believe that all the way because, I mean, a lot of people see their job as their most important thing or, I don't know, maybe their hobbies as most important, but really your spouse is a sacred relationship, I believe. It goes way deeper than just having material item. And if you're not holding that as the most sacred, important relationship in your life, everything else around in your life is less than. It really is less than. So I agree with that. I don't agree with the bosses going in and asking, "Are you married? How long have you been married?" No, but when you get those signs and messages, you'll pick up on. I don't think this person is a good person at home. I don't know if I want them in my business.
Yeah. So would you me? Would I personally go into business with someone who is cheating, even if it's a girlfriend? I don't care. You're cheating on a girlfriend,
No.
cheating on a boyfriend. I probably won't do a business anything with you because I think you'll probably cheat in some sort of way when it comes to like our business affairs.
Yeah, you can't put a price on emotions or time or someone's heart.
Integrity.
And you can't put price on that. So when money's such a finite thing, they're not going to care about that. They're not going to care about scamming you or scamming you for your time, So I agree with that. I also do believe there are a lot of happy couples out there. I believe that there are relationships where infidelity does not exist, cheating does not exist. In your heart, you're calm. And I believe everyone deserves that. That's why I say it's hard. It's easier said than done. It's always easier said than done, but it's not worth trying to work it out with a cheater. To me. What do you say?
That's a tough one. The reason why is because, like, what if... Well, I guess these days, like, you can split up anything, right? If you get a divorce or you break up because of an infidelity.
I have thoughts.
No, I mean, you can break up anything. Like, if you had a home together, you can sell it and take the profits and split it 50-50.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, I think it gets more sticky when there's, like, kids involved. I really don't think I could, because I think it's a lack of respect. I think you've lost respect for that person.
You can't stay is what you mean? Like, kids, like you stay together because of the kids?
Some people, even though their wife, husband, partner, or whatever is cheating on them and they have kids or they have a lot of connections or ties together, they'll make it seem like it's impossible or it's hard to officially divorce this person. I don't think that's true. I think it's the easier route to try to fix it because you have a fear of being alone, or you have a fear of doing this on your own or raising kids or just starting over. But I think I would rather just start over.
I agree with you with starting over in the sense that your kids are like front row to the show of unhappiness.
Yeah. They're going to see
unhappiness.
that.
They know, whether you tell them not or straight up, mom cheated, dad cheated, they probably don't even understand or whatever. They're front row to your emotions. They're front row to experiencing what marriage is or what love is supposed to be like. So if you have the means to leave the cheater and start showing your child what thriving is, how you being happy is, than how you finding true love is, I think that's way more better for the children.
What if you don't have the means?
Yeah, that is really hard. That's hard. Like we mentioned in another episode, a lot of people are financially like leaning on their partner, and just find a family member, a friend, someone who can at least get you off your feet. You have the intention, but you need some support, but you need an action plan.
Or watch the movie Enough.
I've never seen that
Jennifer
movie.
Lopez.
What is that? I've never seen that movie. Oh, come on. You don't...
With J-Lo?
No.
Damn.
What happens?
Nothing. She gets in a marriage. It's similar. She gets into a marriage. It's picture perfect. The guy that bought a house, all this stuff, ended up having a kid. But he beats from time to time. Beats her from time to time.
Yeah.
That movie's good. Like actually, for like that time, it was actually very good. But he froze all their assets, all their credit cards, nothing, and she just had basically what she had, and she took her kid and left and ran. And she ran all around the U.S. basically trying to start a new life. And he would find her every time. Then he would come after her and send people after her because he was powerful. No, it's normal. What do you mean? It's normal. Like if they want to. People of power and the people that have money, men, maybe some women, I guess these days. Really, if someone's running away from you, you're going to do what you can to chase them?
Yeah,
because there's a child involved. If it was just her, I don't think he would care. But he wanted his kid back, and then he wanted to prove that she was an unfit mom, and all. Like, it was a whole story. Like,
it's very hard for me to say from that point because I don't have children. I'm not married.
You have to have kids to be empathetic.
I have been, a first-hand witness to a lot of situations, unhappy marriages for decades.
Me too.
And it literally is just a cycle they've just adjusted to, unhappy cycle. But it doesn't change. I don't think it changes if you stay.
I mean, like, listen, props to the people that stay together and they have a shitty marriage. Like, I'm like I said, I'd rather be single than wish I was single. I'd rather be single than to deal with anything like that. But that's cool that you can do that. Like, that's good.
I think somebody's playing somebody. I think someone is taking emotional advantage all the way. I get maybe you have a roof over your head or you're getting your bills paid, but my personal opinion, I would work for my money than have someone's
But you do
credit
understand that sometimes these relationships that people get into, it could be transactional. That's make it purely transactional. If it's an open relationship, make it known from the very beginning. But it could be like, I fund your lifestyle, but you have to be a certain way.
Are you truly okay with that? Was that agreed from the beginning?
I don't know.
You can't bait someone into a relationship and say you're loyal and then 3 months in or a year in or after getting married be like, well, I support you. Now I can do whatever I want.
I know several people in open relationships. I think it's very difficult for me to just witness.
I don't know anyone, but I do believe it would be difficult.
Yeah, very difficult, because to me it's like, I don't know how they are okay with it, but I think they think like so this is because I asked them, I was like, please explain so I can understand this. This is what they say every time. I love so and so.
I'm sorry.
I love so and so, right? We have a emotional love connection. But this other person is strictly physical.
I've heard that.
This is emotional. Like, nothing will break up this marriage, right? But the add-on is a physical attraction only. It has nothing to do with emotions. They explained it to me in that manner. Of course, I've never seen them all three together because I think that's a secret. That's a whole secret situation. So what do they call it? Sneaky link or something?
What? I want to see them all together. Let me see this happy open relationship.
I want to see this group.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm judging from a point of view.
And you would never know.
I'm judging because I've never been in that situation. I don't think I could be, but I'm
telling you, you would never know that they're in an open relationship. Because you would see them and you're like, they have an amazing...
Someone is suffering emotionally.
They have an amazing... You would look at them and you think they have probably the best marriage out there. To me, I still think they have a really solid marriage, like in all aspects. But again, they believe in that open physical
I mean, it
part.
is like a social media thing that I've seen that men are proud to share their wives. Oh. I feel like this is so weird.
Yeah.
This is, again, my
but then
point of view.
Then they have to pick and choose. They're like, I'm okay with it, but I have to pick
the guy,
the girl, or the guy, whatever the situation. I don't know what the hell.
Oh my gosh!
You know what I mean?
I was listening to Reddit stories on Smosh, and they brought a story up where the guy proposed an open relationship, and the lady agreed. So he just, why he wanted it. At the end of the day, he wanted it because he wanted to sleep with other women. But she is getting dates like every night. And she actually now has a guy pursuing her, bringing her flowers, chocolates, spending time at the house. He's like, and like sees the other, like the husband walking around, like, hey, what's up, dude? And he's like, this is not what I wanted. She's like, you agreed to this. But now he's mad because he didn't envision it this way. He envisioned, he's mad because she's not sleeping with girls. He's like, we want an open relationship, but why are you only sleeping with guys? She's like, what? It's open marriage. Like, we can sleep with whoever we want. But now he's mad because he's like, wait. He's mad because she found a guy who's actually treating her. Oh, back up a little bit. He wanted an open relationship because she wasn't pleasing him physically. But now she's like sleeping with other people. She's like, you're so active. And she's doing that because she has other men treating her right, bringing her flowers, spending time, seeing her for who she is. Now he wants to close it up again. She's like, no. You wanted this.
Damn.
Oh, I rewind. He actually persisted. Oh. Like he persisted. She didn't want to at first.
Well, I was going to ask now in this situation, how do you maneuver that when you want to close it back up? Right? You should have. You opened it, right? So then how do you close this?
Because
even though you gave all this freedom for maybe a year, maybe however long.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's so crazy. I think we just should rewind to what is somewhat natural or standard, which is the normal one-to-one relationship, which is no infidelity involved, which is true love. And if you're not in love, if you don't want to give your life to this person, just leave them alone. Let them find their person who will be loyal to them.
Yeah. You think faith has to do anything?
Religion?
Faith, like having a religious faith. Do you think that is like a core thing for a marriage or a relationship? Let's say, don't even say marriage, because you can be cheated. You can be a girlfriend or a boyfriend of 3 or 4 years before you guys even get engaged, whatever your relationship looks like, and then someone cheats.
I really think it's about morals. I know people who are devout, religious people.
I know people who are
cheat.
devout and religious in their institution, and their wife doesn't know certain things that he does, and there's certain things that it's crazy. But
I mean, this guy's still famous. I don't even want to know if I want to say his name, but if you know, you know. He's a mainstream religious leader. He's on YouTube. Oh. He's local to Dallas, and this was on the news a few years ago. He has a wife at home. He has so many kids. I don't even know how many kids, like multiple, like 2, 3, 4 kids. But with his religious power, he was meeting girls online, and he was marrying them online or whatever, and saying this is legal because in my religion I can marry more than one person.
Polygamy.
I don't know how far it went. I know he sent photos. I don't know the details if he met up with these girls or not. But he's cheating on his wife, and you're a religious leader reading out of religious texts, explaining to young people who want to be religious, and then on the other side, this whole story comes out about you. I don't think it has to do with religion. I don't think so. Religion you can learn. You can learn the facts.
Exactly. I think, like you said, moral. It's how you morally look at it. To me, those people that do things behind closed doors, they are too embarrassed to come up front and say what it is. For example, that guy that you just mentioned, whatever he's doing, he should have a conversation with his wife and see if she's okay with it. Hey, are you okay with me opening up this marriage? Because I want a plethora of girls coming through, but I'm gonna do that outside the house. If she says okay, I'm fine with it, then that's up to them. But to me, it's who he is. Whether or not he's devout, whether or not whatever he follows, and he wasn't, has nothing to do with that. It's this person's nature. This is what they want. This is what they desire.
And never believe when the cheater says, "I didn't tell you because I didn't want to hurt you." No, they didn't want to tell you because they didn't want to get caught and lose you. They didn't want to lose you, not because they didn't want to hurt you. You're already hurting. If you're the person, again, people have intuition. You're already hurting. Don't ever believe. I hate that excuse. No.
That's hard, and that happened to someone that I know that's actually close to me too, in that that situation happened, and that person told my friend that it was a marriage too, and it was mentioned that I didn't want to say anything, or I didn't know how to say anything because I didn't want to hurt you, which is true though, because that information is heartbreaking. If you've been with someone 15 years and they've been cheating on you for a year, do you think it's easy to bring up?
I've personally, and I've never even seen a movie, I don't know, where somebody cheats and it ends up happy. That it ends up amazing. I think I think I've even seen it in a movie where the daughter wanted to confront the mom after years, after decades. Like, I found out dad did this years ago. She's like, the mom's like, don't talk about it. We don't talk about that here. They just shut it down. They just internalize that they're secretly depressed. They're just going with emotions every day, cooking for their husband every day. We don't talk about that here. Like, do you really want to live that way? I don't know. That stuff's crazy. My first thing, have you ever been cheated on?
No.
Have you ever cheated on somebody?
No, because I don't believe in cheating, and this is why. If you have the intent, and you know in your heart, in your mind, you want to cheat, leave.
Okay.
Leave.
Listen, let's talk about this.
Break up the same day, cheat that night, but break up.
Break up.
Break it up. Say, I can no longer.
Break up and then cheat that night.
But whatever, like, if you have that intention, like, you're like, I'm going to probably cheat in the next couple days because of this link that I've been talking to.
My urge or whatever.
Whatever it is. Break up with that person, go cheat. Honestly, it's much better for the other person, but it's just the right thing to do. I feel like break it off, go do your thing. I'm not saying come back. And then, like, that's not an excuse to come back and be like, oh, I cheated for 2 days, so, like, I'm going to go ask them.
We weren't together.
We weren't together for 2 days, but I'm going to ask them out.
Horrible.
And my point is if you're going to break it off to do that, you're not happy. So break it off and let the other person be happy. And then you be happy. Go do your thing. That's what I think.
Now I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think.
Okay.
What is cheating?
Damn. Okay, so I think a lot of people are hypercritical on this.
Oh my God. What?
Cheating.
I just have PTSD.
Cheating. Sorry. I mean,
I have PTSD.
Sorry that you have that, but it's. Why are you laughing?
Because I'm laughing through the pain.
I get it. Yeah. You gotta cry a little.
It's okay.
I feel like I said that on the other episode.
Yeah.
I know physical stuff is cheating.
Oh, yeah.
Messaging someone one-on-one with the intent of cheating is cheating. But having a conversation with someone that's strictly platonic is not cheating.
Okay.
But no, there's psychopaths of the world that think you having a friend that you just talked to, you're cheating. That's the opposite sex, depending on your relationship dynamic.
Yeah.
They'll think that's cheating. If you look at someone,
they'll think you're cheating. Yeah. There's levels.
If someone is having a conversation with you, they might think that you have the will to cheat. If you're that paranoid about someone running away, cheating, they're about to leave you to go cheat with someone they met 5 minutes ago. That's.
So like everything you said, but there's like levels to it. So you said like messaging. So say you're in a relationship and you're still on dating apps. Is that cheating?
Yes.
Okay, I agree with that. Say that you're messaging your friend, but you don't want to show your spouse, even though it's your friend.
This should not be accessed.
What do you mean? By your spouse or your partner?
Anybody. Your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend.
See, this is where we might disagree. No, because if
this can tear up families.
That's what I'm saying. So why?
There's messages in here. If you saw, you're gonna think I'm a fucked up person, but that's because it's funny and there's inside jokes to it. So you'll look at it a certain way.
So I'm gonna be single forever.
No, but
I will never agree because my phone is so open to the person I'm with.
No.
My phone is
not that there's anything like you can look through all the photos. There's nothing bad in a photo.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of memes, maybe an inappropriate, funny meme. If you look at it, you'll be like, "Oh, this person's
with your
disgusting," or "This person's hot." But to me,
so sorry.
It's funny. I have group chats. We throw really funny jokes. We send really funny pictures. We send funny pictures of each other from years ago that we edit and draw stuff on it. No one should see that because if they see it, they're gonna like. You have relationships with all these friends. To me, if you have the urge to want to go through this.
Okay, there's a difference between a snooper or a person who's literally digging, wanting to go through it. But I think if you're going the extra inch to not let me see your phone.
That's different. If you're hanging out with me, let's say, even a friend. Actually, I have a friend that does this and it bothers me.
You tell me flip your phone over.
I want to know what you're doing. I want to know what kind of shit you're involved in. Okay? But every time I go eat with them or hang out with them, they turn the phone like this.
I don't mind that because
No, and then they do this.
Oh God, it's so loud.
It's okay, sorry. And then they do this and they put it down. Me, I'm
just leave it open, yeah.
And mine's upside down.
Because if you get a notification,
come in,
yeah.
I don't care. Notification comes in, you could see my friend, my messages, family, group chat.
But this part, I'm so sorry, JayBird. I disagree that. Not saying you should be actively snooping or digging around or how many messages did you send today, but I think you need to share your codes with your partner. Like, phones are accessible.
The thing is, sure, you can have the code and you can go through. The thing is, the need to have to do it.
No.
That's what I'm saying. You're sitting there. Let's say you're eating with your significant other, and they said, "Let me see your phone," and you're like, "Sure, here." You're like, you need it. You need to call. You need to look at something, check something. Sure, but then they're like, no. I want to go through your messages.
I have a feeling about this person.
That's
Let me
weird.
see.
That's to me. You already have in the mind that person did something wrong. So you're already gonna be in a mindset.
And if you have that mindset, just take a break or leave. Like if you have that mindset, just find somebody you won't have that mindset with. But that mindset does trigger for me whenever the phone is
upside down.
Upside.
Remember when we were eating out with our friends and then your phone was like this and I kept doing this and then you're like, what are you doing? I said, because it's shady.
Yeah, from that one recent person I had in my life. Yeah, he would literally go to so many lengths to hide his phone. At one point, his phone was under the couch. And I'm like...
She told me about this.
I was like, when I saw him get it out from under the couch, I was like, oh, I am not even one to look for a phone. It was just
Sapphire,
weird for me to
the minute that happened, you should have opened the front door.
See, you're saying that. You're the one who just said.
But I don't go out of my way to put my phone under this couch so someone doesn't see a message coming in.
Or whenever they're hanging out with me.
I just told you my phone's always up.
They turn off their phone. And then I've noticed that it's complete airplane mode, Wi-Fi off, and I'm like, what?
So then why didn't you open the door? If I saw that shit
you know
in
what
my
the
house,
excuses? There's excuse for everything. Saving battery. I'm like, you know how many iPhone chargers I have?
Get out. So yeah, I mean, you should have opened the door. I mean, that's blatantly someone trying to hide. You have to get. I've said this to you, and I've said this to plenty of other people. I said, be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of how people are acting, and be aware about your surroundings. That is one sign if a guy is literally on the ground trying to hide their phone.
Sorry, that vision is
under the couch.
Is stuck in my head.
He has major issues and major things he's trying to hide. Again, there's signs of things like that. But if I don't think you should just go through someone's phone.
And you know what's so crazy? I'm sure this is like an extreme example, but I've had the opportunity to be in the room when he was sleeping. And he's literally, the phone is like in his like pants or under him or like where he can feel it. And like any movement, anything that shakes him or wakes him up, the first thing is, where's my phone? Why are you laughing? This is so crazy. Please. I'm so glad this is like my past, but no, I will never believe any reason to hide your phone from your spouse.
But we kind of got sidetracked with the phone thing, but I'm going back to what we were saying about the flirting I think a lot of people have a misinterpretation of flirting. That someone just having a good old conversation where they're vibing and the connection is great and there's just a strictly platonic friendship. Like you're out with friends and then one friend's talking to your partner.
Can I say something? Somebody actually made a comment here that they watched this podcast and they're like, oh, it looks like you two are flirting. And I'm like, have you never had a friend? Yeah. Have you never had a good conversation with somebody?
There's nothing wrong with having a good conversation.
Have you never had like rapport, like smiling back and forth or laughing or connection?
Connections are for all people and for all friends, whether they're a female or a male.
There's only two genders in this world.
Yeah, it's a connection.
Yeah.
So it's not yeah, I mean it's just I guess flirting to me, there's flirting. Now flirting, you're doing this, winking at each other, and that's inappropriate. Like that to me is like that's you're crossing lines.
Yeah.
But if you're just having a conversation with someone and someone's bothered by just a simple conversation.
Yeah.
It can come off as a little possessive.
You're reminding me of a possessive relationship that I've witnessed. Is like the wife is pretty much innocent. Yeah, she's pretty. Obviously, she's your wife. You married her for a reason. But then she talks to anyone, like a waiter or a guy at the grocery store, or even a family friend, and you accuse her of flirting or, oh, that person wants to sleep with you. I feel like that's so possessive intense. Like, there's cheating, but there's also, you can't accuse people of cheating if they've never cheated or wanted to cheat. You can't accuse people for existing, like,
Yeah.
So, so we went like levels of cheating. So if you're going to have friends of the opposite gender, or if you're friends with someone your spouse is uncomfortable with, why is it so hard just to hang out all together or to see each other or let your spouse be a part of your friendship life? I don't get that part. I feel like that's cheating. I do feel like that's cheating. So
really?
Yeah, if I have a guy friend and I'm married and I go hang out with this guy friend and my husband's like, can I come along? And I'm like, no, that's weird. I don't want you to be there. That's my friend. We do friend stuff together. I say the right thing for me to say was like, of course you can, but the vibe's different. You're more than welcome to come along, but my friend vibe is different than when I'm romantic with you.
Yeah.
I don't get excluding your spouse or your partner.
I think if you have to like not let someone be a part of your friendships and your relationships, I think that's weird. Every friend that I've had that's like gotten married or their dynamic has changed, they've always like made it known to introduce each other. So they can be like, since we spend a lot of time together, you might be spending a lot of time with my partner. So I want you to get to know him or her because I care about you, but I care about them. And then I kind of want to like merge this. So if we do things together or we do things one-on-one, they know who you are and they know like the dynamic and they know it's like, oh, there's a history there. It's 15, 20-year history.
Yeah.
It's strict family ship type thing. Like, parents know each other.
I get the first few weeks or maybe the first few months, but after that, if your partner is still keeping you away from their family, from their friends, or from a person that you know about, I say that's a huge red flag. I just don't understand why you need to keep the two lives separate.
Yeah. A big one for me that kind of hits close to home is if you decide to have kids, not saying you, Sapphire, but in general, if you decide to have kids and then you don't stay with the partner that you had these kids with, don't just give up on the kids because your marriage failed. And I think that's where the whole single parentship happens, where like one parent's picking up the slack more than the other parent. And then it makes it hard for you to have respect for the parent that was very gone, like distant and disappeared.
The separation happens because one partner is less involved in the first place. Like,
yeah, but you can. I still believe wholeheartedly that there's kids involved. You still can show up to be 100% of a parent, and you could still co-parent. You have to be able.
Again, you have to be a good person. You just have to be a good person.
There's no good. That is an obligation as a parent. You have to help raise your kids.
There's so many people who just walked out. I don't know.
I know. I'm just saying it's you can't do that, disappear for years, and then or maybe come around every once in a while, and then I guess demand
or expect the same respect.
Expect the same respect.
Yes, yeah, that doesn't make sense.
When you weren't really there, but then you kind of have this other perception of what really happened, and seeing like one parent struggling over the other because they had to kind of pick up the slack. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say is like you have kids, you divorce, you had a family, you had a unit. Sure, the dynamic changed, but mom shouldn't disappear and completely kind of go in and out the kid's life, and the dad shouldn't do the same.
I feel like it's easier said than done. I feel like
so you're telling me it's going to happen to you. You're saying you're going to get married and then you're going to disappear.
I never said that. I'm saying
what
if God forbid if I get married and the dad walks out of my children's life, he's literally physically not there, so he will never be able to add up to what I'm doing for my children. My
point is there should never be a reason for him to disappear from the kids. Getting away from their spouse, that's different. You want to divorce or you want to get out of this relationship, that's different. But you should never disappear from the kids.
Like I said, it's easier said than done. I know a real life example of, and I love this lady. She has two awesome sons. And I'm not sure why she got divorced from her husband. But they had equal custody. Everything's pretty much equal. They stay over at dad's house, whatever. He gets remarried and has a baby. And he genuinely loves his new wife. It just naturally happens where he prioritizes his new baby over his two older sons that are in high school or whatever. So what do you say to that? That just naturally happened. You can't forget. You do basically have more love for this woman, this new wife.
But you have to set the tone with the relationship. Be like, I have kids from a previous marriage or relationship.
Oh, and those of course the new wife doesn't like the kids.
I don't care if she likes them or not. He has to set that stage. Even the wife, the woman getting with the new relationship, new guy, and she has kids. He's like, I don't really like your kids. She has to set that stage and be like, my kids come first before anybody. Same with the guy. My kids come first before anybody. There needs to be mutual respect. And you can't give attention to this new child and then give them all your love and affection and forget about the other two. Because then they're going to grow up and they're going to remember that. And kids remember. That's the thing. Kids remember.
Kids become adults.
Kids become adults forever. And then they'll remember. But I don't think you should sit there and, I would say, do the blame game on the parents if they didn't do something they were right. Like I said, I kind of got over that with one of my parents. Because, I think when I was younger, I was like, why? And maybe I was more angry. But as I got older, I kind of was like, well, they tried the best they could. But it's too late. It's really hard to dissect 15 years growing up. It's just, to me, it's not even worth it at this point. And then there's an age gap and there's a mentality gap. The brain is not the same. The thoughts, the mentality, the upbringing is not even the same from this parent to child. It's really hard to have that.
Yeah, and my brain's going everywhere because it's viewed better in society to leave your marriage once your spouse cheats. But the advice I'm trying to give out are saying you should leave before they cheat. Yeah. But how do you justify leaving if someone doesn't cheat?
Oh, so you're saying that should be the only reason you leave?
No. I don't say that. I say your happiness should be your priority. Your wellness, your well-being. If you have children, your children's well-being. But a lot of people are like, oh, he doesn't sleep around, but you're not happy. So do you just stay in that marriage and try to work it out, or relationship?
I think there's nothing wrong with trying to work on the relationship. I think ultimately, if the two people are on the same page, they want the same things, they'll make it work. But I feel, and this is just I feel this very much so, and I stick by it. If you have to force something, you have to force a relationship to happen, you have to force a feeling, force love, force connection, chemistry, intimacy.
You can't even force those things.
No, there's people.
You can't force love.
Oh, yeah, you can wake up every day and say, I love this person. But you really
and they're
don't.
just like,
but you really don't here. You're just doing it because there's a gain, or you don't want change, or you don't want to have to look for someone else, or you're like, oh, I'm already 40. You know, if I have to start over, like, to me, like you said, happiness to me is the most important thing. Being happy and being in the current state that you're in. Don't force it. And if you have to force yourself every day, then you're in the wrong relationship. That's what I think.
Yeah. So do you forgive after cheating?
You forgive, but I think you can't forget. And if you can't forget...
Do you really forgive? If you can't forget something, are you really forgiving it? Because forgiving is like letting your heart be at ease with the situation.
For me, if I was to be cheated on, I would eventually forgive the person, but I would not see myself with them anymore. Mm-hmm. Because I would lose all the respect in my eyes on you being up here. You would come down here to me. Even all those actions that were good. Anyway, and I don't want to hear like, oh, anyone can have a slip. A slip up or things like that.
No. Everyone cannot have a slip up. People who have the intention to have a slip up.
No, if you're tied up and stuff and like, you know, that's different.
You've been abducted. It's different.
That's a very different situation. You will be forgiven. You will have a lot of mercy. Like,
imagine blaming somebody who was forced into a situation that it was your fault. That would be messed up.
No, but there was that story. This is super random. There was that story about that. I think it was like a national story. It was a lady who was like forced into something, and
their family never forgave her.
Their family never forgave her. And I said, bro, sad. She was forced into something that was traumatizing, and then the family was like, no, she's like used. She's used goods. She's used goods now. Like the respect got lost.
I just got goosebumps. Like, that's
bro,
so sad.
Like, that's a crime. Like, this is a side. This is not even marriage or infidelity. No, that's literally like your family and stuff. And it was just weird. I was like, I don't know.
But yeah, follow your gut feeling. And like I said before, this episode started. Every end is a new beginning. So I think it's better to leave the cheater than to try. And like I said, easier said than done. Even micro cheating, like my first experience with micro cheating years ago, over 5 years ago. And this was God or the universe or whatever working in my favor. So it was the end of the year and Snapchat shows like highlights of your year. And my partner at the time traveled. And so when he came back, it was just random. He actually offered. He's like, hey, let's look at my highlights from Snapchat. Like, it should be cute. And he had a selfie with his ex from overseas. And I was like, and he just casually kept tapping. I'm like, what was that? Like, my heart dropped because I kind of knew about her. Like, he told me about people. Anyways, I broke down immediately. I'm like early 20s. I'm never experienced cheating before. I don't even know what happened. I told him this is it. I don't care what happened. That photo was enough. Like, and I was ready to leave, and he did what he could to keep me, but
he cheated or no?
No, he didn't cheat. Oh, sorry, you're trying to. Well. From what I understand, he didn't. From what I understand, he was visiting his ex because her mom passed away, which I'm sorry that happened to her. But I just wish I was told, hey, I'm visiting her, because they're like, again, like he said, I didn't tell you so I could protect your feelings. I know how you would get. Mm-hmm. And I don't like when people say that.
So what do you think about that?
I actually talked to his parents and I was like, can you believe your son did this? And they're like, oh, in our culture, we're supposed to go visit. And I'm like, I get that. I don't get the part of not telling me you're going to go visit her. I also don't get the part of why you needed a photo. Okay, you haven't seen each other in years. I get all of that, but why keep it from me? And the moral of the story is I did forgive him, but it ended anyways. It ended a year, whatever, later. Mm. Like, any situation I know about cheating or micro cheating, it doesn't end well. It just doesn't end well.
And and I have like I said, a friend who's going through navigating getting divorced from an infidelity and then just kind of re-talking to the ex. And that's hard. It's hard to see that because, and I get it, there's history there. There's history with your partner.
Whether you're religious or not, you have to accept the fact that adultery is very strong. Like, it's in a lot of religious like texts for a reason. It's one of the biggest sins for a reason. Like, it used to be a crime. Like, it's not a joke. Cheating on your spouse is not a joke. And it's just sad that it's so easy these days. And it's easy to take them back. When like centuries ago they would have been off with their head.
Yeah. No.
And now we're just taking them back.
But I get it. Sometimes you can't break a connection, no matter what the person did. It's really hard.
And that's hard. And like for me, it's been months, and people still appear in your dreams, and I hate that. But you got to leave them alone. You got to leave them alone. Those connections are strong. No one's, what is it called? Like, disregarding your feeling that you have that connection. And that is what makes it so difficult to walk away. You have to rewire your brain, rewire your emotions, your hormones. So many things come into play. You know, you've literally painted a future with this person in your head. You have to break those dreams. Please reach out to me if you have a happy story about infidelity leading up to happily ever after. It would have been a princess movie by now.
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel is sleeping around, and then Flynn keeps forgiving her.
Listen, I admire people who do what they want to do, right? Like, if you want to sleep around, do what you need to do, but do not do that.
Don't hurt other people emotionally. Why are you You're tricking somebody.
Yeah, if you, like I said, do what you do, but don't.
You'll find your people. You'll find your
in
people.
It, or don't be with someone and try to play this facade that you're this high and mighty person, but then you're at the club and you're trying to pick up somebody, or you're at the strip club, or it doesn't match.
You know what facade disgusts me the most? I'm sorry that I'm doing one gender here, but that I've noticed is men who look so innocent in front of their mothers. That they are literally the apple of their mother's eye, the angel, the miracle of their mother's life. But they are so disgusting. Once they leave the door, once they leave their mom's sight.
And they get into the suit with the whip or something, like they're just...
No, they're just bad people. They're just using women. They're just using women's emotions. They're sleeping around. I mean, listen, there are the Andrew Tates of the world. But you can't be Andrew Tate and be broke and be ugly and be short. I'm sorry. Not, the last one does not matter. But I'm just saying, you can't be wanting to have multiple wives and sleeping around, but also not be compensating in other areas,
Yeah, no, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Listen, I know that I've known of a lot of people. I've met a lot of people growing up. And I've met some that were like, oh, I love my wife. She's at home. My wife holds it down at home.
They truly respect their wife.
They respect her to the roof. So if she calls and says, hey, blah, 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 I need this or I need milk that.
When you're on your way home.
Yeah, whatever it is. Whatever desire, whatever purse.
Oh.
Whatever heels.
I'll never understand this. I know where you're going. Right? I know where you're going.
They'll buy it. But guess what? When I'm out, and I have side girls or side relationships or this or that, don't ask questions.
Never understand that.
Don't ask questions. Don't get involved. And they'll literally tell me, they're like, yeah, I'm a guy. I just can't stick to one. But my wife is at home with the kids and she holds it down because she's the most respected one.
And I love her.
That raised the kids. So again, it's the whole concept of my emotion and love and connection is with this person, but my physical is outside the house.
And that's not love. No, it's not. It's your mini businesses that you're running.
how does it?
No.
I don't know.
No, it's not love. It's not family. I'm sorry. Because you're keeping that family together because you're funding it. You're keeping that side piece because you're funding it.
But the person wants this and wants this life.
Yeah. Does
right?
the wife know? Does the wife know?
You know, I don't know.
I don't think so.
I do
not think so.
I've known of 2 cases where they knew and they said, I'm okay with it as long as you fund my life.
Wow.
As long as the money doesn't stop, like I can do what I want, get what I want. They're like, I don't care. Don't tell me about
people
them.
who found out about it later and like, what am I supposed to do now? Oh, I don't know. Maybe this is why I'm solo dolo right now, because I just can't. I cannot accept it.
But ask yourself the question: Would you put up with someone funding all aspects of your life, giving you everything you want under the moon, under the sun, whatever you want to say, but they can do what they want on the side?
No, because I would not do that. I would not do that to them.
But that's your self-respect. And
so I know. Let me find someone within my energy. I will not. If I'm not going to do that to somebody, why would I lower my standards for that person? Just because someone goes and cheats on me, I'm not going to go cheat on them and then come back into the relationship because I lowered my standards.
Oh, there's so many people that want to get...
I lowered my energy. Want to get even.
Yeah.
But that's me lowering my energy because this other person brought in bad, low, dark energy. So why should I match with them? I would rather get rid of them and, be happy single until I find my person. I feel like that's so sad when people want to get back.
Would you tolerate anything in a marriage or a relationship?
Would I tolerate them existing?
Like would you tolerate anything like
I think
negative like that or something to stay in a relationship because of compensation or because of good treatment or good life or materialistic things?
There's nothing. I'm literally trying to, like, say he bought me a mansion and I'm living there and I find out he cheated. There's nothing that would keep me there. I would literally go to a motel and start from scratch again. I'm just saying, like, if I had no money, say like he was literally my only income source. And thankfully I'm in a position where I would try to know how to work and find a job. Like, I'm not speaking for those who don't know how to find a job. Like, I can't forgive it. I can't even forgive micro cheating. It's very hard for me to forgive micro cheating, which is like matching with girls online or flirting online or liking bikini photos. I cannot handle that. That's so dishonorable for me to see my man's name under another woman's half-naked photo.
So would you... Okay. Then I have a question. Would you be upset if someone admires someone's beauty? I'll tell you my thoughts.
I'm not upset because I am one to admire beauties of both gender.
Yeah.
But it has to come from a place where I know this person would never cheat on me. Like, I do think it's okay for my partner to say, oh, that woman looks really amazing in that dress, but her things look huge in that dress. That's different. Like, that's different,
Yeah.
So it really is the approach, is the intention. It's good coming from a good person.
I think it's just admiring the world and the beauty that has been put here for us. So I think, like, for example, like if you see someone who's super attractive and like, oh my God, they're beautiful. Mm-hmm. Look how I just said it. Oh, I love this person is beautiful. So are you going to look cheater?
So I want to bring up Dua Lipa.
Go ahead.
Dua Lipa, we all know she's beautiful. Yeah. But now I have a bad taste in my mouth because of my ex, because I literally admire Dua Lipa. Like, I wanted to be here when she was first coming up. And a person I was seeing was like, yeah, if I met Dua Lipa, I would cheat on you with her. That doesn't make sense to me. That's cheating. That's micro cheating.
Sapphire, they already had the intention to cheat.
That's not appreciating someone's beauty. If you're like, oh, she's my hall pass. Like, no, that's not appreciating beauty. That's a cheater's mindset.
Wait, do you believe in hall passes?
I just want my hall pass to be the weekend. Able to... please, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my future husband. I'm sorry to the weekend if you're listening to this. Please be my hall pass. Be my hall pass while I'm single. No. No, I don't believe in hall passes, but I don't know.
I mean, if you come in and you're like...
Again, fair game on both sides.
You know, listen.
One hall pass, I
hooked up
get
with
that.
so-and-so celebrity, but listen, I got us this and this out of it. What if I got you like a G-Wagon out of it or something? You brought that to the family.
Need a record deal to get 10
You brought that to the
G-Wagons.
family or something. No, that was like your gift.
Oh my God. But I wouldn't
Some people
want
be
it.
like,
Again,
okay.
This money thing doesn't matter to me. I'd rather drive around my...
But you don't understand, a lot of people that stay in those kind of relationships, it's for materialistic and monetary reasons.
They're on a different wavelength than me because I can't think
Yeah, because you're about emotion and love and this and that, and you want the connection and
it's not a business deal
the spirituality and the vibe and all that.
Yeah.
Not everybody. Some people want 20% of that, but they want to be funded a lifestyle.
Get a job.
Doesn't make enough. So and so brings more.
Get a job.
I'm just saying, like it's a thing. I know people living it today that I could tell you they're living off their spouse and they're living a very good life. And do you think they have a choice if they can leave or not? Probably not. If they want to keep the lifestyle they have and the things they want or the things they do, they have to stick to it.
Listen, I'm
I
not
get
in
you would be a
those
no and you would
places.
leave. I get that.
Again, I'm not in that situation. I don't want to call myself a hypocrite and then be in that place 20 years from now and trying to still work it out.
And I'll say this, like, that's why my friend who's dealing with the situation said the same thing. Said, I said years ago that I would never, ever be with someone who committed infidelity or cheated, and I would just dip. And they said, easier said than done. They said, I didn't know how I felt until I was in that situation.
You're in it. So another example, this is the same person. Thank God I haven't been cheated on by multiple people. This is the same person that I found on his phone. He matched with somebody on Tinder, and he was at the point where he was FaceTiming her and they were sending photos. There wasn't any like nudes or anything, but they're still sending photos like, how do you look? They've never met. And I saw that, and that is 100% cheating. But I'm in that moment thinking, I start questioning myself because I'm like, wait, I don't have lips like her. She's a different race. I start doubting myself. I didn't even get mad at that person. And so as a female, at least, it just starts to trigger, like, how can I fix this? What did I do wrong? And then don't even start when you approach the guy. Obviously, he's like, oh, just in the moment. I didn't know. It means nothing. I was just looking around. I was mad at you. Oh, you made me mad. So I went, no, whatever. That's a different layer. But as a woman in it, for some reason, maybe it's biological, like, you want to fix it. And now when I look back, I'm like, why? So many reasons to run. So many reasons. But why did I not just... The first photo I saw of that girl, I should have been gone.
The phone under the couch, you should have been.
It's all a blur now. I don't know which one was first or last. It's all a blur. How did I get there? Watch episode 2. Please. I don't want to explain everything right now. But no. For me, never forgive. Easier said than done, but never again.
Forgive and move on is what you're saying. You can forgive.
Forgive and move on, as in move away from the cheater.
Yeah, forgive and move on. Like, we're no longer, that's it, we're done. This was our time, you did this. Hey, we're done, move on. And then you start a new life.
Don't blame myself. Don't blame yourself. Don't play the victim card, but don't blame yourself.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I really hope
Shady Dallas.
Please, there is
Dallas,
such thing as happy relationships. Shady Dallas. Shady
I'm
everyone.
sorry. Did you not see the post about Dallas?
No, what was it?
Oh, come on. Please tell me you saw it.
What was it? Damn. You can't find it in this short time.
Oh, how many seconds do I got?
But yeah, I see it in front of my face. Happy couples who are thriving. Once they've met each other, they're actually doing better. making more money, having families, making babies. So if you are in a relationship where you know, sometimes you don't even need proof. It's a gut feeling. It's a gut feeling that this person's not loyal. Please.
I found it.
What is it?
Dallas is the top city looking for open relationships according to the reports on the dating apps. Open relationships and
I live in the wrong city.
Polyamorous relationships.
I live in the wrong city.
Yeah.
I live in the wrong city.
It's definitely become.
I do see it a lot, though. I see it so much. Well,
Yeah.
they've endured this for over an hour, so I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. This was I think it's eye-opening.
Yeah.
I mean, it's every relationship is different.
There's
every
too
relationship
many
is
levels.
unique.
Yeah, there's so
But
many
I also
situations.
think I just think in relationships you have to have a lot of grace.
Both sides.
Both sides,
Yeah.
for sure. Whoever. I mean, you just have to have a lot of grace, but also don't get ran over. Don't let anything happen to
Yeah.
you. Don't let anything just pass.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't lose yourself.
Don't lose yourself, but also pick and choose your battles. Not everything can be perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Well, until next time.
Well, thank y'all. Appreciate it. Thank you, Sapphire, for your personal.
Thanks for being my business partner
Of
since
course.
I've never cheated on anyone.
I know. That's why I agreed to be business partner with her, because she's never cheated on anyone. I don't know if she's cheated in other ways.
We'll get into that later. Okay, bye.
Bye.